So the other day, I stumbled upon this topic, and I thought, why don't we go ahead and talk about this? Because as you guys know, J.K. Rowling is not the most friendly person when it comes to people having trans rights and stuff like that. She's a bit of a turf. You know, a lot of people have followed her antics for a bit in regards to that. And it seems like she may have gotten herself into a little bit of legal trouble in regards to some of the statements she's made on social media. As you can see in this TMZ tweet, it says J.K. Rowling has been reported to the police by British broadcaster India Willoughby, I think that's how you pronounce that. I apologize if I mispronounce that. Yeah, she's been reported to the police, and apparently it's in regards to misgendering. Now, I know a lot of people who watch my audience or watch my videos and stuff, people in my audience, most of you guys are from the United States. And so we have, like, you know, protection of free speech and stuff like that, even when it comes to speech that, you know, can be filed under hate speech and stuff like that. So there was some conversation in my Discord server when this topic came up, and it's like, well, I don't think the cops are really going to do anything. What are they going to do? Like, they can't, like, suppress her speech or whatever. And I think what a lot of the American people in my audience fail to realize is that this isn't America. We're not talking about American laws here. They don't have the same free speech protections over there in, like, the UK and whatnot as we do here. So some of you guys may remember the Count Dankula situation. They actually do have laws against hate speech. And as a result of that, yeah, she could potentially face some kind of legal trouble as a result of that. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this. Let's find out what exactly she said that has got her into this sticky situation here, shall we? So we have this Twitter thread here. We're not going to read the whole thread, but essentially where it really starts is right here. Somebody posts this, I guess it's a video or a GIF related to the person in question, India, and somebody responds, that's a vile misogynistic man. He should use the men's with other men. Socialist Stanley says, if India Willoughby is a misogynist, why did she become a woman? Think. J.K. Rowling responds with, India didn't become a woman. India is cosplaying as a misogynistic male fantasy of what a woman is. To which India responded, how dare you, J.K. Rowling? I'm a woman, recognized in law and reality. Honestly, you are such a vile person. The most obviously transphobic thing you could say to a trans person, go get some therapy. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, Lord. So this is the tweet that's gotten her into a little bit of trouble. Let's go ahead and let's dive into this more. We have this tweet by Byline TV. Exclusive. India Willoughby has called the police and reported J.K. Rowling for an alleged hate crime for misgendering her. This could lead to Rowling's arrest. And we got a video here, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at it. Let's see what we got here.
J.K. Rowling is definitely...
Okay, let me actually boost the audio a little bit, because I don't know about you guys, it's a little quiet on my end. Here we go. That might be a little bit better.
J.K. Rowling has definitely committed a crime. I'm legally a woman. She knows I'm a woman, and she calls me a man. It's a protected characteristic, and that is a breach of both the Equalities Act and the Gender Recognition Act. She's tweeted that out to 14 million followers. If you check out the accounts that have been responding to me on the back of that, her trigger, it's absolutely disgusting, putrid, some of the worst abuse I've ever seen on social media. And I know I'm at the centre of it and I might be a little bit biased.
Well, what are you going to do about this?
What am I going to do about it? Well, I've been to the police and I've reported it as an issue. I contacted Northumbria Constabulary yesterday.
Now, like I said, like in the United States, obviously, like this would not even be an issue because there are protections of free speech in place and whatnot when it comes to this kind of thing in the United States. You know, obviously, I'm not fond of hate speech and stuff like that, but it is protected here in the States. But that's not the case in this part of the world. This is a part of the world where you actually could face legal repercussions as a result of making these kind of statements.
So you reported J.K. Rowling
I have reported J.K. Rowling to the police for what she said, which I don't know if that's going to be treated as a hate crime, malicious communications, but it's a cut and dried offence as far as I'm concerned. And at the end of the day, it is a hate crime. Trans gender identity is a protected characteristic, just as race is, just as sexuality.
As like I've said before, you know, whenever we've covered these types of issues, I genuinely don't understand why people get so bent out of shape about this kind of shit. Like, even if you're someone that, you know, doesn't understand, you know, what, you know, being transgender means, or like trans rights, trans issues, those sort of things, even if you don't understand those things, like, why does it bother you so much that these people exist and just want to live their life? Like, I don't get it. Like, what is the problem with just allowing these people to just be themselves and live their lives? And that's it. Like, I genuinely don't understand it. It just seems like getting outraged over something that's literally a non-issue.
And the equivalent of what J.K. Rowling said, calling a trans person a man, deliberately knowing that that person is a woman, and I am a woman regardless of what J.K. Rowling says. I've been through everything that's required of me. My birth certificate says female, my passport, all of my documents. I am legally recognized as a woman. And for J.K. Rowling to deliberately, and that is the key word, misgender me, knowing who I am, is grossly offensive. It is a hate crime, and it should be treated just as somebody calling a black person the N-word, or an Asian person the P-word, or
Yeah, it's pretty insane because, like, you know, J.K. Rowling tries to position it, says like, oh, I'm just concerned about, you know, the safety of women in, you know, women's prisons, and I'm concerned about the safety of women and, you know, women's restrooms and stuff like that. But like, if that's like the sole concern that you have, right, is just, I'm concerned about the safety of women, what is the point of like misgendering a trans person then? Like, at that point, like, that's just bullshit. You're just a bigot at that point. You have an issue with trans people and you just don't want to admit it. You want to hide behind this, like, well, I'm just concerned about women's safety. And it's like, no, that's not true. Because if this was just about women's safety, there would be no valid reason for you to like misgender someone. It's just bigotry at that point. That's literally like what it is. But there we go. There we have the video. J.K. Rowling responded to this and said, some time ago, lawyers advised me that not only did I have a clearly winnable case against India for defamation, but that India's obsessive targeting of me over the past few years may meet the legal threshold for harassment. So she's claiming harassment. She can go around, you know, saying horrible things about trans people, but she's the one that's being harassed here? I'm sorry, that's just bullshit. I ignored this advice because I couldn't be bothered giving India the publicity. So he so clearly craves. So again, misgendering them. Nevertheless, we must all do our bit to combat hate. So India will be glad to know I've taken note of his homophobia, racism, and humane stance on immigration. We got some tweets here. What is this stuff? Sharing her thoughts on what should be done in light of the growing numbers. We should take control. I think it's, what is it? It's 100 million. Is this pounds or what's the currency here? I always mix this one up. We've spent on this problem. I'd go down the Trump route. Why not have a nice spiky barbed wire fence somewhere on the channel? Instead of using the English channel, they should use the legal channel. So yeah, not a great stance for sure. What is this? Hold on a sec, Duncan. You're telling me as a gay guy that biology doesn't get it wrong with trans people, yet you were born with a willy designed for sex with a vagina. Can you explain what went wrong? What is this? So this is what happens when you try to cover an enormous spectrum of things with one umbrella to increase your influence. Dysphoric people are not like the vast majority of people who identify as trans, still not born in. Okay, so I don't understand the context of that one. What is this? What you give, you get, Esther. I buy them to put in my ear so I don't have to listen to talentless, bigoted black women, one word, who think they're it and wouldn't be anywhere without woke. Stick that where the sun don't shine, nasty bitch. What is this? Maybe I'm being dense, but what exactly is the logic behind advertising tampons and pads to trans women? Okay, other than the fact that, like, I don't think she needed to point out that it's a black woman. That's kind of a little bit weird, but other than that, like, whatever. That's interesting. I do believe that some of the most aggressive butch anti-trans lesbians are actually people who have a form of jealousy. They dress and behave like blokes. In effect, they've transitioned, but they lack conviction. So take it out on trans. Okay. So maybe I'm just not in the know, but am I missing something here? Am I missing something here? I don't really know. Okay. Nor have I forgotten India's shocking transphobia. It appears to have slipped what passes for India's mind that he's so continuing to misgender her. That's really fucked up. That he's previously called a fellow trans woman a man on this very site. What is this? What? I think it's fairly clearly anonymous pork chop. You're a turfy werfy. Debbie is a man who campaigns against trans rights. How many trans women campaign against themselves? Not the full shilling. I don't know the context of this either. Does anybody in chat know the context of this? I'm not really sure. Surprisingly, for such an eminent legal authority, he appears to have, continuing to misgender, he appears to have forgotten that the four-stater ruling, I hope I pronounced that right, established that gender-critical views can be protected in law as a philosophical belief. No law compels anyone to pretend to believe that India is a woman. Aware as I am that it's no offense to lie to law enforcement, I'll simply have to explain to the police that, in my view, India is a classic example of the male narcissist who lives in a state of perpetual rage that he can't compel women to take him at his own valuation. Jeez. She's such a really shitty person. Now, here's the reality here, right? It's J.K. Rowling. You know, I compared this earlier to the situation with Count Dankula. And in Count Dankula's situation, you know, he had the whole thing where he taught a pug to do a Nazi salute, and that was viewed as like a hate crime, and you know, he ended up facing legal repercussions as a result of that. J.K. Rowling is somebody who's got, you know, beyond fuck you money. Okay, she's got so much fuck you money, she could fuck everyone on the planet and still have money left in the bank. Okay, so she can hire damn good lawyers, and the likelihood that anything's actually going to happen to her, it's slim to none. Let's just be real here. If you got money to pay for a good lawyer, you can get out of pretty much anything. So the reality is she's probably not going to face any legal actions as a result of this whatsoever. But yeah, it's just crazy, you know, that she, you know, basically got reported to the police for, you know, misgendering them, which is a form of hate speech, and then goes on to continue to misgender them in this Twitter thread. Like, she literally gives zero fucks about this whatsoever. This is insane. She's such a horrible fucking person.
Play that shit! Hipster!